I'm supposed to be charging my damn phone, but I was just thinking, like, since I'm on lunch break, I got some time. And superheroes, our parents, right? Ooh, let me not put that in the camera. Anyway, our parents are superheroes sometimes, and sometimes they're villains. As parents, I think what needs to happen, we're in the position of great change. We're coming from generations where people wanted to look a certain way and wanted to be perceived a certain way, like they have it all together. And we have problems with this now, to where we don't know how to ask for help. We don't know how to be vulnerable or speak our unequivocally true truth. Like, it's not up for discussion. It is what it is. And it's not until we're older that we actually understand, because we've had to live experience we didn't get help with in order to understand them. But what I can tell you really helps is when you talk, when you open up and say, when you were a kid, I was going through this, I wasn't equipped for that, I still tried to figure shit out on my own, didn't know what I was doing, so I couldn't provide the affection, the attention, the conversation, the sympathy, the empathy for you, because I didn't even have it for myself. It takes a lot of strength to admit that, especially to someone that you want to do your best for, or have them see you in the best light. And it's so necessary. It's so necessary to have that open rapport with your child. I'm not talking about, oh, we're friends, I'm not your parent. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that open dialogue. So at least your child knows how to have healthy conversation with people, and those crucial conversations with people. When they grow up and they're like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? I didn't learn this. I don't know how to do this. A lot of times it's because they've never seen the real aspect of who parents are, what they're going through. There's always this front, this brave face or whatever, and just to let them in just a little. Like, these beings are from you, of you, even if they're not your biological children. But even as a child, now it's time to start asking those difficult questions and having those conversations, because we grown now. We grown. So if we can talk about it, I mean, let's talk about it. Let's put it on the table. I mean, one thing I would have loved was if my father would have said, hey, I was scared shitless. I didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't know how to parent. I didn't know how to raise a girl. Boys are easy. Girls, there's this stigma about girls being difficult and this and that, and they need their mom more than their dad, and or whatever. Vice versa. Little boys and mothers, like, open your fucking mouth and let them know that you're not this superhuman, invincible force. It's just you make it look good. So instead of trying to save face to make yourself look good, do everybody a solid. The kids that come from you, the parents that are your parents, have those difficult conversations. Speaking to a friend, there are things that she wants to say to her father, and I can relate to that 100%. I just think that I'm so direct and my father's so passive that anything I say or bring up, he may be avoidant of, or feel that it's combative, or as if his guilt will trigger the feeling of being blamed, when that's not what it is. It's accountability, and those things are difficult, but it's like, you don't have to be guilty for what transpired. What I'm looking for is an understanding of why you felt the need to make that particular decision. Like, we're rewriting wrongs, if that makes sense. What we perceive to be wrong. It was the best choice they could have made with what they had. And it may not have been the wisest, but with the information they had, it was the best one they could have made. So now that we're in a space where you learn, if you know better, you do better. Let's just fucking do better. I mean, that's it. I haven't spoken to my brother in quite a while. And I know we didn't have an argument, but I think we were just both on guard. And it's like, okay, well, who's going to drop first? I've already forgiven. I've already dropped my guard. You know, he can hold a grudge a whole lot longer than I can. Well, he would like to. But he's like one of my best friends. So if we can't have that difficult ass conversation, I mean, my feelings have been hurt. He's told me the truth on numerous occasions that I wasn't ready for. But I understand where it's coming from. And I understand, too, that I have that pattern of telling people very difficult truths and it coming off as harsh or critical, very, criticism and picking apart, nitpicking. In the lower energy of Virgo, it is. In the lower energy of Libra, it is. But when a motherfucker grows up, I mean, so do their communication skills. So let's have those conversations. I still have siblings I haven't had those conversations with yet. And I think they forget that I'm a grown woman now. I would like to have those conversations with an open heart and open mind, because I only have this one lifetime to let them know what the fuck is up. Because I don't know if I'm going to see them again. And, I mean, if we can't do it, then I'll just resolve it, like reconcile it within my own being. I'll still say what I need to say, even if they can't hear it. I'll write it. I'll dream it. You know what I mean? I'll sing it. And the thing is, when you do things in spirit, it reaches a person. And you never have to hit send on a message. You never have to see them face to face. But if you can write it out, if you can, in your heart of hearts, have that conversation with them, they'll get the message. I do this a lot with people that things are left unsaid and things like that. If I know the things that I'm saying or want to say will not be received, I'll put it like that. If they won't be received in the way that I intend to deliver it, I'll just send it through my spirit. And it's gone. It's to them. So they'll either dream about it, they'll feel it, or they'll get the sense of relief or a burden being lifted, and this is confirmation from people who I've sent these energetic letters out to, these telepathic messages out to. I'm not waiting for the response anymore. I'm going to say what the fuck I need to say. And I'm going to let it ride. And it's just my experience having been a child who didn't have certain things explained to her, didn't have certain things taught to her, feeling lost and confused and dazed and missing shit because people were too prideful to share pain and progress and, practice. Like, we see them at a certain level, at a certain standpoint. But when my mother was my age, I was a newborn. How the fuck did you do it? You didn't explain what it was like to be a parent at this age and working and having to maintain a household. You didn't divulge those things. And these are conversations, even though she departed when I was 14, we had that type of bond where I could have sworn we were talking all the time, but there were no words spoken. It was very energetic, very telepathic. And this is why I think I've always just been on this path of feeling shit through. It's just my nature. It's just my process. I was born of a Pisces womb. So it's just the fuck where Professor X around this motherfucker. So it might seem far-fetched or whatever, but you have to remember your intention and your emotion and your thoughts manifest. They create. They do some wonderful, amazing shit. And all you have to do, and people are like, oh, shit doesn't work. And you try it, set it and forget it. Do the shit and let it ride. You will get confirmation, because you have to believe that what you're doing is successful, that it does work. And then you'll see the proof. I've seen the proof. And that's the only way that I can tell you. There are certain things I can't learn from other people, because I have to do it myself. I have to find a way to do it myself in order to even make it relatable for another person. And that's why I haven't been here. Like, I could teach y'all certain stuff, but I have to put it into practice. Otherwise, I can't speak on it. I can't advise you. I can't guide. I can't do any of this shit if I don't first do it myself, time and time again. Fuck up a couple times, try some more in order to bring it to you. So I'm not going to pump out readings every fucking week. I'm not going to pump out monthly readings if that is not what I'm supposed to fucking do. It's not going to help you to keep hearing that this person you're trying to let go is constantly on your mind and constantly dealing with another person. It's not going to fucking help you. I'm not here for that. I'm not. So there's so many gimmicky ass readers out here you can go and get those messages from if it makes you feel better. But that's not what we're here to do. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I'm on this earth here to do at all. There's a time to love and compromise and stuff like that. And there's other times where you have to elevate yourself just so you can see shit from another perspective. So you can get all these things into a manageable motherfucking ball. If it's a mess, let it be your beautiful mess. And we'll sift and sort and go through that shit piece by piece by piece until we get this shit right. If you're a part of the soul group, if you're a part of this soul family, if you're part of this tribe, gang, whatever the fuck title you want to put on it, if you here, you're here. I only see the same couple of subscribers mention, comment, like, or any of that. And it's time I'm going to start going through and removing people from my channel, like it's Instagram or Facebook, because I don't like holding space or people, using placeholders. You don't jive with it no more, go through all of your subscriptions and check out who you're subscribed to, all the channels, and start unsubscribing to unnecessary shit that you've outgrown. The gossip, the messy, the tabloid, the love and light, like shooting rainbows out our ass and stuff like that. Like, you have to understand, wherever you're at, stay there. Some of these shits is gonna drop off. You'll see. Everybody sees. It starts one way, and it's just to open the door so you can start to elevate this energy body and start to shift it and start to move it and start to work it in different ways and see how it works for you, what type of abilities you have, what type of senses you have, what types of gifts, talents, desires, wounds, traumas. These are what, this is the reason why, I won't say most, some of us are here. And those are the ones that, even as a creator, I can watch and I'm like, damn, that person's really gifted. And I was like, damn, this person is, every story sounds the same. Don't matter what sign it is. It's one big story, and it's most of the time their own trauma, and it's coming out in the cards. So you can tell when a reader is reading their own. You can tell when a reader is reading for the collective or for a specific group. You can tell the difference. You can tell the fucking difference. Not everybody is going to align with what is to be gained by doing tarot. They go on to other things. It's a door opener, pretty much. But yeah, you got to be open and honest with these kids, open and honest with the young ones coming up below us. I remember when I was a kid, my favorite aunt, Auntie Glenn, and then my favorite uncle, Uncle Wes. Nobody could tell me shit about these people because I felt them on a spiritual level. And as an adult, and I'm like, that is my favorite person. And they're like, in speaking to my aunt's son, she had 2 sets of twin boys, and the Hermes, rest his soul, his twin brother, Af. I was like, Aunt Glenn is my favorite. And he's like, well, she didn't even raise me. She had her own adult issues and traumas and habits that kept her from being the best parent that she could have been. But in that process of being under those influences, the best parent she could have been would be to have someone else raise her child. And that's something hard to explain to somebody who just feels abandoned and neglected. It's very difficult. But I have a different understanding. I loved her even through her addiction. I can sense addiction on people, but that's not what she gave me. She gave me a genuine embrace, a genuine love. She was the only one who could intervene when my brother was being tyrannical. And I was like 5, so he's just a pestering mess in my, I was the little brother he never had. So rough housing and wrestling and all kinds of stuff was that's the only way he could really communicate. My other sisters were, they're not into that shit. No, he's too rough. He's too terse. He's too cynical at times. And they kind of distance themselves from him. We love him, but, it is what it is. You got to give a person like that space. But my Uncle Wes used to drink. But we used to fall asleep in that damn, what was it? Was it an Oldsmobile? Or was it a Buick? I think it was an Oldsmobile. Hot as hell. Middle of summer. Back door open. He'll put down half his Budweiser. We take a nap in the back seat with the breeze blowing. We're sweating. We'll wake up. He'll drink the rest of the damn Budweiser. And the hugs he would give, he had this stubble on his face, and it would just like scratch my face or whatever. But that was comfort to me. He had a good intention towards me, a good vibe towards me. And hell, I didn't even get that from my father. And this is somebody I'm supposed to be, able to go to and ask questions and stuff like that. I don't even want to ask him shit. I'd rather have a conversation with my Uncle Wes if it were, and he's passed on too. And right at this point, I know I'm just rambling. But there's these impressions that we give and that we get. And it matters. What I want to see is kids growing up without guilt or blaming themselves for shit they couldn't control, and also to not blame these humans that only were to guarantee us to get here. What happens after we get here is our own course. And that's hard to stomach when you're in the thick of the pain, when you're in the thick of the lesson and it hasn't resolved, or it's not even close to being resolved. Like there are literally people out here snatched away from their parents, growing up orphans, being, thrown in a fucking garbage can. So who am I to say, oh, my dad ain't shit, fuck you, and you got it, you're human, I get it. I hope you live well and I hope you live long. But you did your part. Now I have to do mine. And if that excludes you, I am more than happy for it to be that way. Resolution. In my mind, in my heart, and in my spirit, there is nothing you owe me and there's nothing I owe you. And I just have to express that. It's like there is nothing needed now. There's no apology needed now. I've had to do this quite a bit with people and resolve issues. I didn't fuck up and be a peacemaker to myself. When I say that forgiveness shit is so strong, it's so strong and it's so necessary. So just keep that shit in mind as you move forward. The guardian is just supposed to get you here. The parent is just supposed to get you here with them genes that they have coursing through their veins. That is it. And as parents, we like to think that, I'll do anything for my kids. I'll give my kids everything before I even give to myself, my kids. And then you leave your children ass out when your health has declined and you're no longer here. So being on the receiving end of that type of situation, I need you to care for yourself, care for your mind, care for your spirit, and have those crucial conversations. Be open, be honest, be vulnerable. If you have to sit in the mirror and have a conversation with yourself, a dialogue, cuss yourself out, bring up all your own dirt and confront yourself about it, how you feel about it now, how you felt about it then. Bring that shit to resolution so it can be put in the archives. It can be put in the archives and nobody can dig up anything about you that you haven't already handled within yourself. Like, your triggers are yours alone and nobody should know where they are or know how to get to them. Like, you have to be resolute in every aspect of your being. This is the only person you're responsible for is yourself. And you got to know that motherfucker better than the back of your hand. Like, the back of the hand is not enough. You need to see what's on your back. You need to see every mole, every stretch mark, every scar, everything. Everything. Know thyself. And have those conversations. Kids deserve to have the truth. In that pure ass Leo 5th house energy of children and innocence, creativity, romance, those joyful things that make our hearts sing. Children bring us so much joy. There's certain levels of wonder and splendor that come with children, and a lot of us didn't even feel that shit when we should. Now we're adults trying to gain it, trying to learn how to enjoy and be in joy. Have those conversations and lighten the load, because we're oscillating at a higher frequency. And therefore you have to pack light or you're too dense and you can't go. You're going to stay behind with them. The people full of sorrow, the people full of misery, the people full of blame, guilt, shame, doubt. We're letting those things go. Not because we have to, but because we want to. And that's just it. So once we can have those conversations with the people that mean the most to us, whether they're our children, whether they're our best friends, whether they're our siblings, whether they're our, romantic partners or whomever you can have those conversations with. Do it. Even if that's the only person you can do that with, the more you do it, the better you'll get, the more practice you'll have, the more fluent you'll be, to the point where only people who speak that truth language can speak to you. That's it. Like, it's a lifestyle. It's not just something I do sometimes or with certain people. If you can't open your mouth and speak on it and be respected for being that speaker of truth, then the environment is not conducive to your healing and your growth. You're going to keep running into situations where people want to gaslight you. They want to see if you'll fall for whatever the fuck they want to give you. And that ain't it. So they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, okay. And naturally just let it fade, because they'll come to you. You won't have to go back to them, not to resolve anything, not to apologize, not to have another conversation. It will eat their ass. Guilt is one hell of a thing. Remorse, regret, doubt, fear, worry, shame, one hell of a drug. And you don't even have to take nothing for it. All you have to do is give. Give truth, give honesty. That's it. That is the fucking antidote. With that respect builds love. It builds the foundation to love freely, I should say. And if that's what we know we're going towards, and that's what we know we want in all shape, forms, and fashions, the way we make our money, the people we spend time with, the things we do for fun, our downtime, our together time, just whatever it may be, you want that place to feel like you want to never leave that place of feeling like you're on vacation. The moment you start to feel like it's burden and it's hard and it's troublesome, something ain't right. Oh, my pores look so huge. Oh my God. All right. Well, I think my lunch is over. I already ate. Stay hydrated, friends. Get adequate sleep. It works wonders. We'll go into dream work and all that other shit later on. I'll start to divulge a little more about how to better retain the memory of dreams, dreamscapes, things like that, and really start to hone on this gift of intuition. But before that, I'll probably go into practice modalities, protection, and I've spoke on this on my YouTube channel quite a bit, wanting to break down the protective measures, the necessities of why you should be well equipped for it. You know what I'm saying? It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. So just keep that in mind. Let me know how y'all fare. If you could say anything to one specific person in your life that you don't know if you can have that crucial conversation with, whether they're still here or not, whether you're talking to them or not, comment below. No names, no specifics that would give that person away or anything like that. Just release. Like, practice. Put your emotion into it. Put your intention into it. And drop that shit in the comments. And the moment you hit send, it is sent. And they'll get it. You don't have to say another motherfucking word about it. But they may approach you because they'll sense it. They'll feel it. They won't know how. They may not even acknowledge that shit works like that, or they have any kind of extrasensory perception or telepathy or anything like that. But if they have a soul, then they gonna motherfucking feel you. So I'll talk to y'all later. It's been about a half hour of me just talking as usual, and I'll see y'all later.